Yo, what is popping, guys? We are here with week one of the ITL. I upload my team builder, I think, on Sunday. This should go up on Tuesday, I think. Shout out to my boy Tyler, aka Fan on Baseball, recording the match so quickly. That's pretty hype. Not gonna, didn't have to wait for too long for the battle, so I remember most of it. Definitely should be a fun one. If you haven't checked out my team builder, go do that now before you watch the battle. Bulky Finny, Bulky Venusaur, Bulky Aloe, Life Up Mammoth Swine, AV Metagross, and Life Up Taurus. My opponent SSC brought the Heatran, the Mega Gardevoir, Garchomp, all three of which I expected. And he brought Jilteon, Komala, and Virizion. I didn't really expect Virizion to come because it's kind of hard walled by Venusaur. Even like +2 Zen Headbutt doesn't do shit to me. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see that, but he brought it. Jilteon was definitely an option, even though I have two ground types and but I feel like it was kind of necessary to break potentially Fini and Aloe if he is able to remove the Mammoth Swine. So it definitely could be some lure set with the Heatran, for example, like a Sugar Berry variant that is very bulky to take an Earthquake, or something like a Scarf Tran to catch me off guard and kill me with the Flash Cannon. But I would definitely scout for that because my Mammoth Swine isn't as fast as I want it to be, because I want to run Adamant so that I can ensure some Okos into chaos. So like I'm not gonna let Heatran mindlessly like I'm not gonna segment one mindlessly to the Heatran. That's what I want to say. Um, yeah, Komala definitely has some merit with my team because it's his only hazard removal that I have on a Salgor. I have a couple of rockers. I have three rockers, I think, even. And like, yeah, you don't want to get hazard stacked versus me, so I definitely can dig that. So let's hop right into it. I decided to lead off with my Finny, just because I felt like getting the Misty Terrain up could be pretty helpful, because I don't want to get Toxic or Will-O-Wisp or something like that. Potentially from a Mega Gardevoir that wants to Will-O-Wisp my Metagross, which obviously would be my initial switch. And so my opponent leads up with his Heatran as I get on my Misty Terrain. And it's pretty nice for me, solid lead. Can't really touch me because he reveals to be Air Balloon and not like a Power Up Solar Beam set. Even that like would not have knocked me out. And I'm pretty free to fire off a Nature's Madness here. I could go hard for the Surf, but if it's a Spadette variant, Nature's Madness would actually do more because, or like close to the same damage, because I'm not like fully offensive. I have some special attack investment, but not too much. It brings in Komala, which is fair. Komala has pretty decent special bulk. You can always wish up if it's that set. Um, I go for the Nature's Madness, and he takes the 50%, obviously, which is nice. Seems to be to have an even EV number, but he reveals to be leftover, so that's not too big of a threat. Like, um, it could be more annoying if it was a bandit variant, but I can go hard into my Venusaur here to chew up any hit. Shout out to Aaron2420, by the way, for joining my team. Always coming through. Oh, that doesn't look too nice. So yeah, he went back. Komala goes for the wish. Pretty fine with me now. There's like a free switches into his feature potentially. As I decide to pull a double into my Mammoth Swine. Um, in the first time Heatran came in, actually I didn't see that he was Air Balloon. I only saw that the second time. So I brought Mammoth Swine on the double here because it covers him going for Protect, because then I have a free Earthquake that I could fire off, and also would cover him into going into what I thought was a non-Air Balloon Heatran. But he decides to go into Gardevoir, which is a fine play, even if a Sludge Bomb on that turn. He takes like 50%. Maybe it's like 70 because he's still in regular form, but he gets a lot of HP back, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. It could like scare me out with a Psychic or something. So Gardevoir comes in. I have a guaranteed switch into that in form of the Metagross, especially with the Misty Terrain still up. He can't Will-O-Wisp me on that turn, so it's kind of forced to Hyper Voice or Psychic, which is a fair play because Hyper Voice actually gives him some chip versus my initial switch in here, which is the Metagross, and also would do a hefty chunk to Mammoth Swine and every other potential switch I had. So Gardevoir comes in and he goes for the Hyper Voice, and that roll is actually a max a max roll from a timid Gardevoir, or it's like a lower roll from a modest Gardevoir. I wasn't quite sure, but I can just go for the Pursuit here, trying to figure out if he has HP investment or not. And as you can see, Pursuit does less than 50%. I max Adamant Metagross. This is definitely a max HP Gardevoir. which is kind of wild. So I felt like it was max HP, max special attack modest. Only thing that makes sense. Maybe a couple of speedy Vs, but that's that's basically it. So brings in this Metagross. I don't have the Ice Punch on this set because I don't want to stay in anyway, and I have a solid switch into that in form of the Alomomola because I take any one hit even if he goes for a Sword Stance on this turn, which I expect him to be like a Sword Stance set, and like then I can just fire off an Ice Beam. If he's Yachiberry, I pop the Yachiberry and can revenge with the Mamoswine, which is nice. And yeah, Mallory, as you can see here, will chew the Earthquake up. I will just fire off an Ice Beam. I'm not like playing around with the Garchomp, even though I expect him to switch out because you don't want to get a Scald or something. But he could be a subset, so I want to make sure that Ice Beam definitely breaks the sub and does some nice damage. So Jilton comes in and he reveals to be a leftover set. Doesn't do too much with the Ice Beam, obviously, because Alomomola is weak as fuck. You need 92 special attack EVs to 2-hit KO a Garchomp with Ice Beam, which is kind of wild. It reveals to be a leftover set, so I thought like maybe it was like a sub Baton Pass, Agility Baton Pass set, which like I think is fine. Doesn't really matter too much. I have a very safe switch in here. With the Mamoswine, I can like just go hard into that if he wall switches out. That's fine. I have no reason to click Protect here to like get some lefties back because Regenerator will help me out in that regard. So go hard into Mamoswine, even though I like don't want to let it take too much damage. But it goes for the agility, so I already know it's agility pass. And the good thing is he can't really pass into anything with Mamoswine around. I think the best mon that he could have gone into with the agility pass was the Heatran because he's still on a balloon, which at this point I didn't know. But like then he would outspeed me even if I break his balloon with the Icicle Crash. He would outspeed me on next hand, would scare me out with the Flash Cannon. So definitely like would have been in my opinion his best bet to go into, unless he goes for the hard predict and like thinks I go for the Earthquake, in which case like even in that case Heatran would be nice because he is on the balloon, but you could also go into a Resistance. I just fire off an Ice Crash because he doesn't have an Ice Resist on his team anyway besides the Heatran, and breaking Heatran's balloon would be pretty nice at this point. And like Ice Crash knocks out everything else basically, so I have no reason not to click it. But my opponent goes for the Baton Pass here on this turn. Jilton, like pretty interesting set here. I reckon he still has like at least one attack, probably two, because you don't want to be hard walled by Mamoswine. But he goes hard into his Verizia, which was kind of surprising. I reckon it was an SD set, which tried to capitalize off, on the agility pass, and then like with the Zen Headbutt potentially break my wall core, but definitely not gonna happen anytime soon because it just drops to the Life of Icicle Crash from my Mamoswine. Heatran comes back in, and now I finally see the air balloon, which like made me really wonder why I didn't like adjust the Baton Pass into that thing earlier. Like even if he loses his balloon, he scares me out and like can do some damage with like potential Magma Storm or some shit. I go back hard into my oh no, I go into my Mallory on this turn instead of the um, Tapu Fini. I didn't expect him to go for Toxic or anything because like Tapu Fini seemed to be an initial switch in anyway. Like, but he went for the Will-O-Wisp, which is kind of interesting, and he misses, which is unfortunate for him, but it doesn't matter too much in the long run. Even though I am Waterfall, Alomomola, I like don't really need that to do some damage. Like Alomomola is here to War Garchomp with the and like chip it down with the Ice Beam and pass some wishes if need be. So like nothing too big. He like just forced to switch out here basically. Goes into Titania, which is fine with me. I will just go for a wish here and then like proceed to go into my Metagross. Just a wish. Going for the wish just enables me to have like a basically free switch. And my opponent makes this very smart when it doubles out. He doesn't want to get pursuit trapped again. He goes back into his Heatran on my switch into Metagross, but that's also fine with me. I can like as you see, I have like two very solid switches into Metagross into a Heatran, and Metagross gets his health back, so like I don't lose too much from like going into Fini on this turn. Like even if he wants to set up his rocks, which I really expect him to do here, I can just defog them away and then like be in a solid position. Like without rocks up, switching around doesn't hurt my team at all, especially with the witch support from the Alomomola. So that's like yeah, whatever to me. Can go for defog here. As my opponent, I think he will go back into his Komala. This part of the battle was kinda... Oh no, he goes into his Jolteon on my default, which is also fine. This part of the battle was kinda annoying. There was a lot of switching going on, a lot of wish passing and shit like that. But we both tried to put ourselves in a position where our team gets some health back and can potentially go for the sweep at some point. His win con being Garchomp, obviously, my win con basically being Mamoswine, because looking at his team, there's Jolteon left, Can't Touch Me gets dropped, Komala gets dropped, Gardevoir dies to an Ice Shot at this range. No, not yet because he's max HP, but he's in range, and once I break the balloon on Heatran, I can basically sweep with Mamoswine, which is fine. So I defog, rocks aren't staying up on my side of the field. Tapu Fini, again showing that he's one of the best defoggers in the business. He goes for the Baton Pass, which is a fair play. I kind of expected it, but I didn't feel like staying in and trying to overpredict. I want to play it as safe as possible because I feel like I have a very, very good matchup, and I didn't want to choke it away. Even though Thunderbolt would not have killed me, I'd like to have some nice HP on my Tapu Fini. Heatran comes in again with the air balloon, goes for the flash spin, does a solid chunk, but obviously can't break through big body Alomomola here. This thing is so fat, it's crazy. I would fire off a waterfall here just to get some chip on whatever wants to come in. He goes into his Gardevoir, which will not appreciate this at all, to be honest. Waterfall, 75 base attack is not too bad. It does is a 2 KO from the range of that, but I definitely don't want to go for it now because a Modest Hyper Voice is actually a roll to knock me out, I think. And I just want to play it safe, go back into my Heatran. As he makes another double into his... And to my Metagross, obviously. As he makes another double into his Komala, which is fine. Oh no, I protect here to see, yeah, obviously I protect to get some lefties back and to see if he wants to lock himself into something, not lock himself, but if he wants to go for the Hyper Voice, or if he wants to make a double, because he doubled the first time, and I didn't lose much from going for protect. Even if he goes for Calm Mind or a Wish, I can always just bring back in Metagross and fire for Pursuit to put it, to get him low again, and yeah, go from there. So not too big of a deal. Komala comes in, I can yes, obviously now he can Wish Pass, but that's not too big of a deal. I can just go back hard into my Mega Venusaur, which can take any one hit from anyone on his team, which is pretty solid. So Venusaur comes in, and now I have either I can go for a Leech Seed here, or I can just Giga Drain, or do something else. I have to see about that. Fire off I think I fire off a Leech Seed here instead of going for Giga Drain to see my opponent switches out into Heatran, I think. Do I go for Giga Drain here? I might go for Giga Drain because I think I break my opponent's balloon with the Giga Drain at some point. I might be on this turn, might be on another turn, but no, it's on this turn. Cool. So get the Giga Drain off, and Heatran is finally on the ground, which is pretty solid for me. Definitely can now attack it with the Mamoswine as he gets the Wish back. I don't have Earthquake on the set. I contemplated it, but I felt like Tapu Fini and Alomomola are so solid answers to a Heatran that I don't really need to lure it in with my Venusaur and then go for Earthquake and shit like that. So goes for another Flash Cannon, does a solid chunk, but Tapu Fini obviously we chew out here. And this seems to be an uninvested Heatran, or slightly invested only, which is good to know. I didn't really calculate on the Alomomola because Alomomola is so fat. I knew Heatran would do shit to it. So Reginald comes back in as I fire off a Surf. This thing is kind of annoying because my Walker can't really break it because of its solid Spadef, but not too big of a deal. Had I had the taunt on my Tapu Fini here, I could have shut it down and beat it 1v1, but we're still in this spot where we're just both trying to put ourselves into the best position that we have. I can just go back into my Mega Venusaur here, take any one hit, and even if he wishes, that's not too big of a deal. So my opponent goes for a Wish again. I think I go for I either go for Leech Seed or a Sludge Bomb. I don't 100% remember. go for a lead sheet and I miss. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even know if like Comatose prevents him from getting lead sheet, in which case that would have been a bad play. But my opponent goes for the Earthquake, which is a fine play. Get some chip off on my Mega Venusaur. Now I'm in range for +2. No, I go for lead sheet on this turn again. So yeah, like I didn't want him to like wish pass into Garchomp for free. If it's a subset, that could be annoying, and then like sub SD with Earthquake and Dragon Claw potentially could like shit on my team a little bit, but try to play as safe as possible. I think on this turn I fire off a Sludge Bomb, predicting him to not go into Heatran this time, but into Mega Gardevoir. Doesn't do that. He goes into Garchomp, but Sludge Bomb will give me some solid chip. See, that's like 25%, which is nice. But he gets the wish back, obviously. So without the poison damage that I could have gotten on the Sludge Bomb, it like didn't do so much. I can go into my Alomomola here, predicting him to SV up on this turn, which he will actually do. Goes for the Sword Stance, which is kind of scary, but I still have a Mamoswine in the back. And as long as he isn't like a Z Crystal user, which he could actually be, Z Garchomp is one of his 2 Z Crystal users, but as long as he is not that, like Mallory can at least chew one hit and go for the Ice Beam. And if he's Yachi Berry, I guarantee live a +2 Earthquake, even the crit. I can Ice Beam, pop the Yachi Berry, and then come in with Mamoswine and Revenge. Mamoswine at this point, once I break the potential Yachi Berry on Garchomp, basically has to sweep already, because Gardevoir is at like 30%, which means that it drops to Ice Shot. So at this point, what's called Mamoswine looks kind of clean. I go for the Protect here to scout for the Z move. You might say that it's a choke if he goes for another SD, but I already revealed the Ice Beam, and like it doesn't make sense for him to like SD up in face of that, especially if it's Yachi Berry. In which case like another SD just wouldn't have made sense, because then he's guaranteed to like lose to my Mamoswine. And like if he gets the crit with the Earthquake, potentially he thinks he can knock me out depending on my set, but like going for the SD again was never his play in my opinion. So I go for the Protect the Earthquakes, which tells me he's like he's not a Z Crystal move using Garchomp. As I go for the Ice Wind, he pops his Yachi Berry. So Alomomola coming through, breaking the Yachi, and unfortunately for my opponent, his Garchomp gets frozen. It does matter in the sense that he would have gotten 1 kill guaranteed at this point, because like Alomomola drops to the next Earthquake. But besides that, at this point, Mamoswine was actually sweeping the rest of his team 100% once I popped the Yachi. I could go for the Ice Shot, then Earthquake the Jolteon, Ice Shot the Gardevoir, Earthquake Komala, and Earthquake the Heatran. So unless he was like really speedy Heatran and speedy and like really like Shadow Ball or HP Fight or something, Jolteon like to go for the 2-hit KO with both of them, I like basically would have swept with my boy Mamoswine here. So it doesn't really matter in that sense. Mamoswine will win this game eventually. Garchomp drops, but still unfortunate. Like it's an annoying hex. Like freezes are so stupid. But he goes into Gardevoir now, and he actually, because Alomomola lives, he can get a free wish here. As I protect again, trying to see if he wants to double out. He gets a free wish, so Gardevoir at least can now take out potentially the Mamoswine, which is kind of important for him. But obviously, unless he breaks my Metagross here, like he can't really win versus Mamoswine with his Gardevoir anyway, because he has to remove the Metagross on this before like winning with Guard potentially. So Metagross comes in, he like hits me with another Hyper Voice. Doesn't matter too much. I go for the Pursuit on this first turn to see if he like wants to switch out, but he goes for another Wish, which is like a good read on his part. Had I gone for the Meteor Mesh, it would have been like kind of bad. I actually went for the Earthquake here instead of the Pursuit, because Earthquake does like guaranteed 50% to Gardevoir, and I can like stall out his wishes, and like it would have also covered him switching out into Heatran, for example. So yeah, gets a crit with the Hyper Voices. I fire off another Earthquake, and this will mean the end of the Mega Gardevoir here. So I'm not quite sure what his set was. It didn't seem to have Protect. Maybe it was like Wish, Hyper Voice, Psychic and like another coverage move or Calm Mind or something. But Jolting comes in. I like could go for the 6-0 win here, switching out into my Mammoth Swine, but I felt like that was kind of unnecessary because I froze his guard shop. I let him get his kill here on my Metagross, which actually was a roll anyway, I think, with the Thunderbolt, and like now I can come in with Mammoth Swine and clean up this game. It goes for the Shadow Ball. Does a solid amount of damage, but obviously not too much, less than 50%. And like knock him out with the Earthquake. Like even if it was Shuka, I'm pretty sure I would have knocked him out because I'm adamant. Life or max attack. Now Jolting goes down, and he only has Heatran and Komala left, both of which will actually drop to an Earthquake. Depending on the set here, Earthquake could have been a roll, but I think he was mostly specially defensive, gauging from the Surf set, or he was like invested in attack because he did quite a bunch to my Mega Bean. So I don't think he was like invested in defense at all. So Earthquake knocks him out. Mammoth Swine coming through, picking up his third kill, and now Heatran comes in. I will finally see if he is faster than me. I have a bunch of speed on it. I don't really think he is faster, and he is not. So Mammoth Swine cleaning up this game in solid fashion, which is pretty hype. We get the 5-0 win in week 1 of the ITL. Good game to my opponent Davion. He really had a really bad Mammoth Swine matchup. There wasn't not a lot he could have done. So yeah, like it was like kind of a matter of time when Mammoth Swine was gonna sweep this game. Definitely like it was like kind of an annoying long battle because like there was a lot of wish passing on, and he had 2 wish passes on his team. I had 1. I like just try to put myself into a position where I don't have to predict or make any aggressive plays, because like I felt like Mammoth Swine was always winning as long as I keep my Walker healthy, can potentially pass wishes with the Alomomola, break the Yachiberry on Garchomp, break the Balloon on Heatran, and then like Mammoth Swine was always gonna win. So I didn't feel like I had to make any sort of aggressive doubles or over predictions or anything, because should I lose my Mammoth Swine or my Metagross to one stupid over prediction, I like could have like potentially lost this game to Mega Gardevoir or Garchomp, which I really didn't want to do. Even like if Garchomp kills my Alomomola and the Yachiberry is still intact and he can kill my Metagross, I can always revenge kill it with like Blizzard from Tauros, but then again I have to hit or I have to hit the Rock Climb, either like depending on what kind of range he is at. If I lose my Metagross, like Gardevoir always gets a kill, which I really didn't want him to do. Like it would have been pretty annoying. So like I had to play with Mammoth Swine Metagross pretty safely, and that's what I intended to do. That's what I did, and so I was able to get the nice 5-0 win. Shout out to Davion. Good game as always. Definitely a solid start for us to the season. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the game, and leave a like and comment if you did. Go check out my boy Davion. He goes by NoivernNation on YouTube and Twitter. Definitely go check him out. He's a cool guy, one of my longest friends in the community. So definitely go ahead and check him out. So shout out again to my boy Tyler for recording, and Aaron for hitting me up with the team. Always appreciate it. Next up, we will actually play Matty Brawlick in week 2 of the ITL. He isn't really a part of the league. I asked him to join, but he was like, nah, I can't do that. I still have the NPL going on and shit like that. But he was, like, because one team dropped out after week 1, he was so nice to say, yeah, like, I take over for week 2, play my boy Aki, and then, like, another coach can take over the team. I already found a replacement, so that's fine. But I will play my boy Matty Brawlick here in week 2, which should be a fine game. It will definitely, like, his team started with a loss, but he has a very threatening team with the dual Tapu core and shit like that. So definitely gonna be a hype one. I hope you guys will enjoy that one. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and catch you in the next video.